to the 2018 ballot amendment presentation. My name is Angela DeMonbreun, and I was the past president for the Jacksonville First Coast League of Women Voters, and that league encompasses 4 counties: Clay, Nassau, St. John's, and Duval. So I actually did this in the same location about 4 years ago when we had the 11. I think it was 11. That's how I really got started. So, and now I'm the outreach director. I'm leading these nightly, giving these presentations. So what you have in your hand, you have a half page that you can certainly refer to, circle yes or no, or if you still have extra questions after this evening, I could always circle back. You can reach out to me and I can send you some more additional resources. So just to clarify a few things, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization. We have 2 arms. That's our advocacy arm and our education arm. So this presentation this evening is our education. We'll go through the slides amendment by amendment, and you'll clearly see by voting yes for an amendment, this is what will happen. If you vote no, this is what will happen. And I have additional notes. These things are kind of changing on me daily, so I'm going to try to address any questions the best way I can. And again, if you leave with something's not clear, I can certainly send additional resources, things that I'm following, as well as our websites. We have bereadytovote.org, that's on the back of your flyer, thefloridavoter.org, and then our local website is LWV Jacksonville League, and all of that is on your flyers. And so there's tons of resources that you can go to after this evening to learn more. So all that to say, this is education, so we will not, and I will not be going into the advocacy piece and our positions and the justification for those positions. It's just education. The website that you can refer to learn more about the league's positions and a little more in depth is the floridavoter.org. That's our state league website. All right, let's get started. So a teeny bit of background on the League of Women Voters. Like I said, nonpartisan political nonprofit organizations, meaning they do take positions on certain things in Tallahassee and maybe locally. They do not, have never, will ever support or oppose individual candidates. They were established in 1920 when women got the right to vote. Their first educational series really kicked off in the soup kitchens, educating the men to vote for the women's right to vote. I like that little story. Men were accepted in 1972, and in fact, our local league president is a man, and he is a terrific leader for our group, so men are absolutely welcome to join the league. We serve voters and promote good governance. We research, educate, and advocate. So even the positions that you might find that we've taken on these positions, that's really came out of an exhaustive track of research that we go through. We don't just pick a position and say, oh, that sounds good, or that would be popular for today. There's actually a very thorough, exhaustive, some would say extra long, process to form a position, and one that is voted across our state at our either local council or convention. Okay, your upcoming ballot is expected to be extra long. So what you'll find on there, you'll find a U.S. Senate seat, all your House of Representatives seats, governor, cabinet, state senators, state House of Representatives, local, county, and municipal offices, as well as 12 constitutional amendments. Remember, there was 13, and we'll talk about the one that was eliminated. Where do these amendments come from? 3 that you'll see are from the Florida legislature. 2 are citizen initiatives, meaning they collected signatures from voters, registered voters, and in many cases upwards of 1 million. Some, in fact, there's actually a process. The amount of signatures required is 8% of the last governor's race who participated. And in that case, for example, a couple of them, they had between 850 and 900,000 signatures collected. That was the minimum they could to get on the ballot. 7 are from the Constitutional Revision Commission. So when we get there, I'll say CRC. instead of repeating that constantly. So the Constitution Revision Commission meets every 20 years, and they just met recently last year and put forth ballot amendments. So those are the ones you're going to see when we get, some would say bundled amendments. We'll get to that term.
How often?
Every 20 years.
Every 20 years.
The CRC meets, yes, and they are appointed by our governor and his cabinet members. All of the ballot amendments, whether they come from the legislature, their petition citizen initiatives, or the CRC, require 60% to be voted and enshrined in the Constitution. All right, let's get started. Amendment 1, that came to us from the Florida legislature. And when I say that, during our 60-day session early in their year, they voted to put this on the ballot. This ballot amendment 1 would increase the homestead property tax exemption. Because of all the additional questions, I do have notes, a little background on some of these. Amendment 1 grants an additional $25,000 homestead exemption for homes valued at $125,000 or more. There is a current exemption. It's $50,000 for homes valued over $50,000. This would increase it to $75,000, the total amount a homeowner can deduct for a home valued at $125,000 or more. So this is increasing that. A vote yes would amount to a loss of tax revenue. The Florida Association of Counties estimates an annual loss to Florida of $687 million. A vote no would retain the current exemption. And as organizations come forward and either support or oppose, we have listed them here. But again, we won't go into the justification of why those organizations support or oppose. You can just see for yourself.